What's up, y'all? Never Tasha here.
And I'm Ty.
And welcome back to Restate the Culture. Yay! Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you. Appreciate your support. And also, too, like or subscribe because we are going to be doing a turkey drawing on Saturday, the 23rd at 2. We will be live. We're going to be pretty much, we'll see who's subscribed. We'll write their names down, draw the names out the hat, whoever is picked. We're going to be pulling up on you with the turkey. We will be going live. Make sure you look presentable because you will be represented on the page or on the channel or whatever. And so, yeah, make sure you stay tuned and subscribe.
Yes. And I'm going to say this to you guys. On the channel, it has that our episodes will be on Wednesdays. But we've had a bit of a schedule change, so that's going to change. We'll just be dropping videos randomly, but I'll do it to where, well, I don't have to do anything. If you hit the bell, then you'll get your notification every time a video drops.
Right.
Okay? So outside of that, our topics today, we're going to be talking about attention seeking on social media. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the Harriet Tubman movie. We're going to let you guys know our opinion on the Rodney Reed's case. Mm-hmm. And then we'll end it with a little bit about Mr. T.I. Rubberband Man, you know. So, kicking it off, though. So, attention seeking on social media. Woo! We've all seen it. I'm not going to say we've all done it, but maybe. Who knows? Anyhow, so when you have those people, those friends on social media, and they come on there and they're like, screw this, screw that, I hate my life, my family, my father, my landlord, you know, my boss, everybody, you know, and they're just so sick and tired of life, they're going through the worst struggles ever. And then you have people that come on those posts and they're like, are you okay? I'm praying for you. Is there anything that I can do?
Right.
Girl, you gonna be okay. Fuck him, her, whoever. But then you have that same person to put the post up and they come back and they like, mind your business, fuck you. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Woo woo, wow.
Right.
Okay, so in my opinion, if you don't want nobody commenting on your business, you do not need to come on social media airing it out, okay? Airing your business out on social media is equivalent to walking inside of Walmart and saying, I hate my baby daddy! Because I called him last night to get diapers for our son, and he didn't answer the phone because he was laid up with, you know, fucking Cindy.
Right.
Whatever. Anyhow, so I just think it needs to stop. Keep your business in your house. If you don't want nobody commenting on it. If you're going to sit on social media and sound depressed or you're going through the worst things in your world, do not be surprised if somebody hits you up and say, hey, are you okay? Because that's what normal people do.
Right.
You know,
otherwise, why are you posting if you don't want, you know, anybody to comment or you are not going to be open and receptive to certain comments? Like that's what it is. You should already know that. So post positive. Right. If not, you know, try to change your circle. Try to figure out why you always so fucked up in the head and why everything always, you know what I mean? Take a look at yourself. Right. Do some self-love, self-care type stuff, and then post about you finding a new frequency to wave on. And you just hit the nail on the head, like for real, because it's not always about pointing at what somebody else did. Sometimes we do have to examine ourselves. Mm-hmm. Self-examination is key to a lot of our problems. Mm-hmm. And it's so easy to point the finger at everybody else. Look at yourself, honey. You gotta look at yourself sometimes. So, moral of the story is post positive or don't post at all. Pretty much. Because you ain't gonna stop nobody from saying what they gonna say or feeling how they gonna feel about your stuff. And if you don't like it, then don't put it out there. Exactly. Okay, that's simple. Right. Let us know what you guys think. You've seen it. Comment. Have you done it before? What do you think about it? Don't it just piss you off though and just make you all, you know what I mean? that's one of the reasons why I got off Facebook, because it's like, I don't care about this stuff though. And then somebody died and somebody like it. Damn, you like that my grandma died, bitch? Like,
right.
You know, like what is this? But then you post something good and don't nobody. It's like some crickets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you don't like that I'm doing good, but you like it when I'm doing bad.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I see.
Look, I'm like, for me, I ain't gonna lie, that unfollow button, because I swear, when I go down my timeline on social media, I want to see when I wake up in the morning and I do my little thing and I hop online, I want to see positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see you on there whining and upset about your pawpaws, baby mamas, grandpa's, daddy, and none of that stuff, you know? So, yeah.
And then one last thing, if you don't like something or somebody, like, just unfriend them. Don't try to scare them, or don't, you know what I mean, threaten to unfriend somebody or something. Like, so stupid.
You gonna
like,
lose sleep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna unfriend you.
Yeah, I'm gonna unfriend. Like, go through your shit and just do it, and then they'll see, or they won't see, because they are no longer your friend, so they can't really see what you like. Just do it. Like, who cares who you finna get rid of and what? Do it. Mm-hmm. If you ever feel, look, let me stop.
Take me up.
Definitely, yeah. That's what I was going to say.
I do not care.
You do not have to warn me in advance. Just go ahead and remove my name.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
On to the next subject.
Moving on to the American gangster, Mrs. Harriet Tubman. Minty, honey, Minty. Okay, so we've checked out the movie. Have you checked out the movie? If you haven't, you might want to go check out the movie. Check it out. Okay. I enjoyed it. I love the fact that they did not focus on the slave masters and slavery in such a like depressive manner.
Right.
You know, like we see a lot.
Yeah.
I learned some things that I did not know. And if you go look it up once you watch the movie, you'll kind of know what's real and what wasn't real. I thought it was actually pretty cool to find out that she was actually technically free, supposed to be free. That's something I never knew. I love the fact to know that she was a pistol packing, some of them boom boom bah, honey. Like Harriet Tubman was out here like boom 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 boom.
She was not
like
playing, and no pictures. Do you see her crack a piece of a smile? Like, it's no games. Right. It was no games back then. Wasn't shit funny about that life.
Right.
So that's why, you know, she always with the mug face. I kind of wondered why, but I guess I would have too. Right. Especially if I go back to try to free my fiance and he done moved on and got somebody else pregnant. Yeah, the smile's pretty much gone from then too. Because that Hoyt. That Hoyt her.
And then I loved in the movie with the dad. It's probably not funny to some people, but I cracked up. I thought it was so funny with the blindfold. Yes, it was too funny.
At least he was honest.
Yeah, you know exactly. What I mean? Very honest. So, I really love that. You know,
he blindfolded himself so that he can really be truthful and saying, "I didn't see her."
That's so funny. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I learned a lot though. It's a great movie. It's inspiring.
Yeah, empowering.
It's very
empowering, because it's not who gonna let me, but who gonna stop me. That's the mentality she had. You know what I mean? And damn it, she did it.
And that's the type of mentality that we need to have in everyday life. Like,
but you know, they say she could have freed a lot more if they knew they were slaves.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, not funny, but it's, I don't even know the term. I guess ironic that you get stuck in your state of oppression and it just becomes a point where you just start to accept it. Because that's pretty much where they were, like, okay, this is our life, this is what we're going to do. And she wasn't with that shit.
Right.
So
that's definitely what it was for. I loved the most heartfelt part in that movie for me was the fact that when she went to go get her sister and her sister was like, nah, I ain't leaving my kids. And she like, shit, I'm gonna get the kids. You got the kids.
Right.
That's cool. Right. Like, that's definitely some love right there. Okay, so yeah, check that movie out, guys. Let us know what you think once you watch it, you know. So moving on, Mr. Rodney Reed. I don't know if you guys are aware, but if not, when this is over, go take the time and read as much as you can and watch some of these interviews. So Rodney Reed is a black male in Texas, okay? And he has been accused of rape and murder. He's been incarcerated since 1996 for killing a young lady, a 19-year-old engaged young lady that was like 19 years old. So he's been on death row all this time. But evidence is showing that, I mean, the defense team, they have evidence that's showing that he didn't do it, all right? I know that there's been 3 forensic pathologists, and they're like, there is no way that he did it because the time of day does not match up with none of the stuff that's going on in the case. Miss Stacy's cousin also does not believe that Mr. Reed did this. And neither does Dr. Phil. He's gone down there and done an interview recently. It's been interviews throughout the years, though. You also have Kim K that's involved. You have Rihanna that's involved. Oprah was just on TV speaking on this. This is very serious. They're about to kill this man on the 20th. Like, in about a couple weeks, not even 2 weeks from now, they're going to kill this man. And the kicker is, you know, usually when you have somebody that's deceased, the first person they look at is going to be like their mate, people close to him. So, you know, they ruled him out. But I think it's quite funny that her fiance, he was a police officer. He's no longer a police officer because he kidnapped someone and raped them, and he served 10 years in prison. That's a bit weird. So with that being said, you also have a former inmate that was locked up with him that said that he confessed to him that he killed Miss Stacy because she was sleeping with a black male. So quite interesting. It's scary, you know. But yeah, that's definitely, and there's a petition going around. They're petitioning the governor there. So far that I know of, there hasn't been a response. But
I'm thinking with all this coverage, you know, there probably will be. It's a lot of big league people, you know, that's taking notice of it. So that's going to kind of shift the gears in there, hopefully. And it kind of sounds like some more when they see us type stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't even want to think about how many of our black men is in jail, have been for years, for no reason at all.
Right.
Just because of the way the system is, just because of the way supremacy has been set up. So I do hope that it gets to the right people and gets to the right ears, and justice is served. But really, can justice ever be served? Like, he had already lost 23 years of his life, and then he already facing death, you know what I mean, and having to carry that with him. You can't undo that. Ain't nothing they could even do, even if, you know what I mean, ain't nothing, you can't undo that. You can't undo that. So justice can't be really served, but I hope that he can get out and try to, you know, live out the rest of his years in peace and harmony, because you can't undo that type of pain and that mental torture, and then having to go through that system for 23 years, you know what I mean, facing death as if you're a murderer, knowing you didn't, just because you know what I mean, sleeping with a white woman. But that's what that is.
Yeah.
And that, you know, is all too common for us as black people to have to suffer over nothing. Over nothing. So I hope Kim can work her magic, I guess, you know, and get him off too. I guess she's been doing that here lately. Did she get
under the real people that's doing it? But you know, she, her name,
right? Because she's gonna have to go. Ultimately, it's gonna have to be the president. That, you know what I mean. So she got connections to him and Kanye.
Girl,
they team Trump, so you need to Trump up.
I guess we'll see what happens. For me, I'm like, it's Texas.
That's the other thing.
It's Texas. So.
But there's been a lot of shit going on in Texas, so Texas may want to do some good shit now. You know, I would think they want to kind of redeem a little bit of. It's Texas,
right? For real, like, it's Texas. You know, yeah.
So
moving on.
And it brings us to, I guess, speaking of Texas, I don't know why, because T.I. ain't from Texas.
So William over
but it starts with the T, so I don't know. I thought maybe that kind of segue into there. But I kind of wanted to bring up the whole T.I. podcast he did with the, it was actually Miguel's wife and her friend show. You know, Miguel, I didn't even know he was married. I thought he was gay.
I didn't think he was gay, but I didn't know he was married. Because that's my boyfriend.
No, I think, okay. Well,
tell me.
But he got a whole wife now, and his wife's friend then linked up with T.I. And they got T.I. out here looking like a whole damn fool, and everybody hating him because of his comments that he said. But I kind of think it's okay. There's a part of me that think that, you know, that's his child, that's his daughter. You don't tell nobody how to raise their kids. You know what I mean? You can't tell nobody how to raise their kids. And with the way sexuality is just being thrown everywhere now to make it seem like, okay, you be comfortable with your body, you can do whatever you want to with your body with whoever you want to. You know what I mean? The message is just being portrayed in a way to where it's like, it's just okay. Just be you, be free. And I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I don't think at 16, any type of teen, shit, you ready for that. Even though we think we are, we do it. You know what I mean? Especially at 16, 17. There's still a few questions I would like that I didn't hear that would help with, you know what I mean? I guess picking and choosing if I like it or not, but I don't really need, you know, I can speak what I feel anyways. But I think it's cool. I like the fact that, you know what I mean, he checking, scared the shit out of her, scared the shit out your kids, make sure that, you know what I mean, they keep that intact, because that's not anything to be shameful for. And I hope I know she may be embarrassed that the world knows that her father is doing this, but I hope she ain't embarrassed because people trying to virginity shame her, like as if that's something wrong. You know what I mean? That's a great thing. I think it's very virtuous of her to still have that intact, even though under the certain circumstances, she's scared she give that shit away. But I think, you know, if that works, fine. You know, and there's, of course, I'm a woman, and there's, you know, privacy there and controlling and all that shit, and that's all true. But that's what parents do. They control your shit. They take your privacy. If you don't like it, then you get your ass at your own house. That's how that works.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that prevents these teen pregnancies, because ultimately, yeah, he got kids, and people saying that, okay, well, if you ain't telling your son this, why are you telling your daughter this? And, you know, it's always that double standard that's there, of course. You know what I mean? I ain't even trying to get into that, but I will get into, from the woman's side, and me having a daughter, I would like for her to hold on to her virginity as long as possible. And I know that kids lie. Shit, you ain't finna be, you can't just trust them. That's foolish. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just trust them to tell you the truth about that.
Right.
And even if y'all do have them conversations, and you do at 12 start putting your child, that's almost saying, okay, go ahead and do this. Just be safe. Like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You're not ready. That's how I feel. And don't do it. And if this is his way, and he didn't, she ain't did it, that's a good thing. So leave the man alone. Let him raise his damn kids. Raise yours. And make sure, you know what I mean, if y'all are out there, protection. Wrap it up, because with all this over sexuality, everybody dipping and dabbing into everybody, it ain't safe. It ain't safe. And just because you have a strong physical attraction to somebody don't mean you have to give them the cookie. Like, keep your cookies. Hold your cookies. Let him earn your cookies. And if you know that your daddy over here checking to make sure your cookie is all the way a cookie, then the guy that you choose, he gonna have to be well worth that, you know what I mean, repercussion of you not having that full cookie. So that's what I feel. I feel like go ahead, T.I., do your thing. You know what I mean? Even though he out here portrayed as a little man whore and stuff, that's his business. He grown. We ain't talking about that. We talking about him trying to keep his daughter away from the type of man that he is. And that's all right.
Yeah, it is. But I'm still like, I'm sorry. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Like, I understand what he's doing. I do. You know, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm. It's crossing the line.
No. I don't. Taking her to the doctor and check, I don't think that's crossing the line. I don't like the fact, I feel like you have to be equal when it comes to these kids. Because like you said before, you know, in society, we have that double standard. And I think it's unfair. Mm-hmm. It's very unfair to give that double standard to your son. To be like, oh, well, it's okay for you to be on social media and going out here taking the cookies out the cookie jar. But hey, don't let nobody take your cookies.
But,
you know,
to say that, these kids wouldn't be, his son wouldn't be having nobody to fuck on if the girl wasn't fucking.
Yeah, but see, at this point, though, like, T.I. can control his daughter, but he can't control these other girls.
That's what I'm saying.
But for me, I'm just like, teach your sons the same thing. Because it really kind of goes back in, like, on some back in the day type of stuff. Oh, them boys can rip and run and do whatever they want to, but you keep them girls in the house, them girls is fast. Them boys fast, too. Them boys can bring home a baby just like she can. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And that's the same thing that I tell my kids. Like, I don't care. You keep your thing in your pants. Don't be out here trying to give it to nobody. Because you don't know who you're intertwining your spirit with. You got to be careful. With. Yeah, you got to be careful. Yep. You do run the risk of disease. But not only that, you run the risk of dealing with somebody that just ain't got no damn sense.
And then you run the risk of having a baby that's going to be kind of, because y'all, you know what I mean? Like, what if, you know what I mean, you got traces of sickle cell in your blood or whatever, and then somebody else have traces too. Like, you having traces ain't going to have a baby, but if y'all produce together, that baby will have sickle cell. And that's like a whole life, you know what I mean? So it's like, know who you with. And people don't take the time.
And at that age, they ain't going to know. Don't talk about each other.
And you don't even know to question this type of stuff at that age. That's why you're not ready. So I wish that he would maintain that same energy with his boys, but at least he giving it to his, to his girl. And I saw a quote, which I like. It said, teach a man, then you teach an individual. You teach a woman, and you teach a nation, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm like, yes and no. Because if he a man, he can teach a nation just like that woman can. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can. Now, if he's somebody out here that ain't ever got nothing going on, he ain't teaching nobody but probably an individual. But, I feel like a man can teach as many people as a woman can. I think they kind of do that because it's like, oh, the woman reproduces, but, a man does too. But, anyhow, keep them damn kids in the house and tell them to keep because they both can bring home a kid. And honestly, I think it's worse if a boy brought home a kid, because if your daughter bring home a kid, then you pretty much gonna have control over what's going on with this baby, you and your daughter. But if your son does, then you got to deal with this girl, her family, and all. Yes, it's too much. Yeah. No kids.
And then girls have problems, you know what I mean, separating feelings. So that's the other thing too. Men, they just can, you know what I mean, just stick it and move, you know what I mean, get all caught up thinking it's this and this and this, and heartaches and heartbreaks on top of babies and shit. That's just bullshit.
Right.
So don't do it. And I'm glad that you ain't did it, and tell your friends not to do it. And Dejanay, good for you, girl. Don't let nobody make you feel any type of way for you still being a virgin. And hopefully, you know what I mean, this empowers you to keep it until somebody is truly worthy of having it, and y'all could really support each other. You know what I mean? And you think about stuff, and yeah, so good for you. Good for you. I wish I would have not gave my flower away. Because I'm telling you, most of the people that think that it's so controlling and shit, they wish they wouldn't have as many bodies under their notch.
Right.
So that's what I think about that. Let us know what you think. Like, comment below, and then always like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get into this drawing, so that we can feed you and your babies.
Mm-hmm.
The baby
We're
mamas
trying
and
to
the
give
baby
away that
daddies.
turkey, honey. For real. I don't know who wouldn't want a free turkey. Hell, I wish I could put my damn self in the damn drawing.
Right.
Just keep the turkey at home with me.
Right.
We can get that turkey. But thank you guys for subscribing to us and watching us. I've noticed that we've been getting a couple comments, like in the comment section. So if you've been commenting, thank you.
Good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I mean? I welcome it all. And I love to have intellectual conversations, you know what I mean? And if you don't like something and you can express it, you know what I mean? Great. I'm not, it don't have to always be just positive, but it needs to be constructive.
I want those negative comments.
Right, it needs to be constructive.
Yeah, because that's what's going to help
Right.
us.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't got to be positive. If you don't like something or lighting or something like that, let us know, but don't come with the bullshit. But, I can always just block it out. Leave it. You won't even really probably hear a reply because I don't really entertain that. But I would like to know your thoughts and your suggestions. Peace.
Oh, wait, before we go, your trip.
Oh, yes. Your girl was in DC. It was freaking amazing. It was amazing. It was everything that I thought it would be. And I was out there by myself, so I was just doing my little solo thing. I saw everything that I saw so many lockheads. Oh my gosh, that is like Lockhead City. And of course, somebody had commented on my locks, and they was like, "I love your dreads." So I had to, whoa, wait a minute. I had to tell them, they're not dreads, sir. Thank you. That is a European term. They're actually just locks. So I'm gonna coin or try to coin the phrase headlocks, because it sounds like dreadlocks, and so it's maybe a smoother transition. Just say locks, but headlocks, that's what they are. Nothing dreadful about it. The Europeans used to be like, we dread the lockhead ones. That's where dreadlocks came from. So no dreads, just locks. And I'm loving it, and I'm here for it. The city is beautiful. It's so black and proud. I was actually out there when the Washington Nationals, it was like a baseball team. They just won, and they hadn't won in like 95 years, over 95 years or something. So it was like historical. The whole city was proud. The whole city was happy. There was a parade. I don't think too much went down. I didn't really hear a lot of shots and stuff. So I think it, went good. There was also a football game. I went to the, I think they were called the Bison, Howard Bisons, and the North Carolina something. I don't know, but Howard played North Carolina. North Carolina got into their ass. But that was a great game, and I went to my tour of the Egypt on the Potomac, and the whole city is built and based off of Kemetic culture and principles, and the statues and everything like that. Even the monument, the Washington Monument, is actually called a Tekken. And I say Kemet, you guys probably know it as Egypt, but before it was called Egypt, it was called Kemet. Egypt is actually a Greek, the European term or whatever. They renamed it, just like they renamed it Africa. It wasn't originally Africa, but that's another show. But anyways, the Washington Monument, that big, strong, or big, tall, little thing.
We'll put a picture up.
Right.
You'll see.
It's called a Tekken. And that's straight out of, you know what I mean? If you haven't, I strongly urge you to go just to see and feel the culture and feel the city, and go do that tour. It starts at the Thurgood Marshall building, and it kind of goes around and picks out everything that's, you know what I mean, directly related, which the whole city is. And it's really life-changing and empowering when you know that you come from those who started and found this. And everything that they have done, everything the New World, which is America, have done, has been a perversion of what we already had did. And so that's empowering. And then it's a whole different level of perception, so if you haven't, go. And I seen the Martin Luther King memorial. It was beautiful. Seen a lot of shit. It was just beautiful. Went to the Frederick Douglass Historic Building. Oh, I also did a event. Or I didn't do an event. I just went to an event. I hope to do an event. I'm speaking that out. You know what I mean? But I went to an event at the Smithsonian in the Oprah Winfrey Theater. And it was a womanist to feminist as lavender is to purple. It was very enlightening and uplifting and inspiring. So I just encourage you to just do more, live more, be more, and share more. And that being said, I'm done.
Well, that is our show. And like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.